Hello everyone and welcome back to Story Talks. My name is Tess from State Library Victoria and today I'm joined by Auslan interpreter Amber. Hello Amber. Before I introduce our guest, I would like to sincerely acknowledge the traditional custodians of Australia always was, always will be Aboriginal land. And now I am very excited to be talking to author of My Giragunji, The Binna Binna Man, Shake a Leg, and so many more books. Buri Monty Pryor, welcome to Story Talks. Yay!
Hey, hi. Hello, Tess. How are you? And hello, everybody out there.
Hello, it's so nice to have you here. Buri, to kick things off, we have a question from Quinn. And Quinn says,
Hi, Buri. I'm Quinn. I was wondering, where did you grow up? Bye.
Queensland. Queensland's a big place, so I suppose I better say Townsville. My mother's people are from up near Cairns, a little place called Yarrabah, and they're called Kunganji. And we say Ngaling, welcome. And my father's people, they come from down towards Bowen or in Bowen, past Proserpine going south. And they're Birigubba, we say Watamoli. So welcome, welcome. And from here, where I am now in Melbourne, we say, well, they say here, Wurundjeri, they say Waminjika.
Waminjika.
Yeah, 3 times welcome. Very, very good.
Means you're triple welcome, everybody.
Triple.
So, Buri, I have read your amazing book, Maybe Tomorrow. And
Yes.
I have also heard that your mum used stories to keep you and your siblings in check. How many siblings did you have and what stories did she tell you?
7 sisters and 3 brothers. Add that up quickly. With me, that would be
11.
too many. There you go.
My goodness. 7 sisters and 3 brothers and Buri. That's a lot of people in the household.
I know. So I'm a girly man. 7 sisters.
Yeah. So how did your mum keep you in check?
Now, I know everybody has mums out there, and I've got to warn you, if you already don't know, mums are very tricky. If you ask your mum, go up to her and say, Mum, are you tricky? And I'll reckon that what they'll say is, that's a tricky question, which means they are tricky. Because whose mum has told them a story that was scary? Whose mum told them a story that would keep them inside, that wasn't scary? I reckon all of the stories that they would have told you or are going to tell you are scary ones that will keep you inside. Because mum was very good at that. She was a great storyteller. And we had this thing that, I don't know if they do it now, people do it now, but back in the day, we used tea leaves. It's tea bags now, but back in the day, tea leaves. And what would happen is when you finished your tea, there would be some tea leaves in the bottom of your cup. And there was lots of people that could read the tea leaves when they came to the end of the cup or drinking the tea in the cup. And they'd swirl it around and they'd look into the cup and they could tell you a story. My mum was really good at that. So you imagine 7 girls and 4 boys sitting down at the feet of the queen of the house, my mother, waiting for her to finish her cup of tea so she could read the story in the cup. It was really exciting. It was like going to the movies, but it was live, and it came out of a cup of tea. So she would go, story tea time. We'd go, yes! And we'd all drop everything, come running in, we'd all sit down in front, and Mum would tease us. She'd hold the cup up and look like this, and she'd give us a look and make sure we were all there. Then she'd have a little bit left in the bottom, and she'd go, and she'd sip a bit, and she'd think about stuff, and she'd look in the bottom, and then she'd look at us, and she'd count us again. And we'd be sitting there going, can't you count to 11? Hurry up with the story. And after like 2 days, after like about 5 minutes, she'd take a deep breath and she'd swirl the last bit of tea in the bottom of the cup. And she'd take a long sip. There's only that much in there. And she'd take a long sip. Then she'd take a deep breath. And our eyes would be like that, waiting. We'd be holding our breaths and we'd almost pass out. And Mum would take a deep breath and she'd go, yes, I see. And without saying, because if you yelled out, she'd take her time, more time. She'd go, she'd make us wait and wait. And she'd go, Tony, it's my youngest sister. It says it says Tony is going to do the wiping up tonight of all the plates and the cups. And Tony'd be there so excited. Yes, I'm doing the washing up. And then Mum would take another breath and go, come on. She'd go, Sue, you're washing up. She'd go, yes. And we'd go, what about what? And we all had chores around the house. Everything that she saw in the cup was us cleaning the house. We didn't realise that until after the house was clean and all the washing and wiping up was done. And then we sat down and we went, Mum tricked us. But guess what? The next 2 or 3 days, we were back sitting in front, waiting for more stories. That's how tricky mums are.
Your mum is so tricky. I would also like to know exactly what brand of tea she bought and exactly what type of cup she used so that I can buy
Billy tea and a cup. It was just an ordinary cup, but a Billy tea, but it was more her trickery.
I need to get
it was
my
good
hand
trickery
on that tea and her trickery. Wow. So there you go. Any parents watching, now you know the trick to a clean house.
Well, people would walk in and go, how come your house is so clean? And we'd say, tea.
It's in the tea leaves. I believe your mum also had some pretty interesting stories regarding camping.
No. I don't know if you fellas out there, when you go camping, when the sun goes down, it's dark out there. And where I was, where we used to go, we used to say there were snakes, crocodiles, scary things, bitey things, creepy crawly things. That's just in the tent. No, outside. It was all outside. And you know what? She didn't want us to go outside. She said, do not go outside. We're going, and us kids were going, yeah, we're tough. Because the red eye might get you. We never seen a red eye, but we said, yeah, whatever. Mum said, no, that red eye will get you. Okay, yeah, okay. And the lamp we had a lamp on in the tent, and there was a little bit of glow of a fire outside. Mum yelled out, look out there. And we jumped and we looked out there. And there was this red glow off in the distance. We said, what's that? Mum goes, that's the red eye. We said, nah, it's not. Just sparks from the fire. So Mum looked out the tent and she yelled out, hey, red eye, is that you out there? And the light, the glow, glowed once and glowed twice. We went, whoa. And then Mum said, hey, red eye, if the kids come out there tonight, will you grab them? And we looked at the red light and it glowed. It went glow, glow, and really bright, like, yes, I'll grab the children. We went, oh, we're not going out there. But you know what the red eye was? It was my Uncle Neil smoking a cigarette. So she made that up too. I wasn't going to go out there. Tricky again.
Tricky. So tricky. And also a very interesting anti-smoking campaign.
That was back in the day when everyone smoked. So.
To scare you away from the cigarettes, from the red eye.
There you go.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm old, so it's like that's when everybody smoked way back then.
It's a multi-purpose story. Whoa.
I never thought of that. Thank you. You've given me a new tack to that story.
And were you kids in the tent just absolutely shivering with fear?
We were 7 and 10. No, we were really frightened.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't scared of the crocodiles. We could deal with the crocodiles or the snakes, but not the red eye.
The red eye. Oh. No. Wow. Thank you. I was fully captured by that story. And Amber, I was very much enjoying your Auslan interpretation too. Really adds to it. Buri, stories are obviously really important in your family for various reasons. How did stories help you when you were growing up?
I had my traditional stories from both Mum and Dad's side. And they were told when you earned the right to get them.
Mm.
Stories weren't just given to you. You had to earn the right. Earn the right, listen to this, kids, is that if you are listening with your eyes, ears, and heart, the story will be given to you. But you have to listen to all of the stories the right way. And if you listen to them the right way, they will make you strong. If you are not listening to them, then you become weaker. That's with our traditional stories, because in the bush, when you go hunting, you have to know about when the flowers grow. They will tell you stories. When the snakes will be around. Crocodiles. Especially in the rainforest, there's things called water wilds. You push through the bush and there's this branch that is like that and it hooks over. And when you push through, it flips around and it wraps around you, and they've got hooks on them, and you can't pull them off because it'll rip all your skin off. So you have to wait a while till someone comes and cuts it off you. So listening is really important. So I suppose those are the things that I remember from stories, is that there were fun stories as well, but the really special ones that go back thousands and thousands of years are really amazing stories. And they're about the creation of land, stories from the sea, because I grew up, I'm a saltwater man. Bana, Kilta, freshwater, saltwater. Sorry, I forgot to tell you that before. Bana is freshwater, Kilta is saltwater. So I think that's what I got from growing up with those stories.
What an amazing array of stories, Buri. So stories to keep the kids in check and help them clean the house. Stories that keep you safe when you're in your country and in your land.
Stop smoking.
Environment. Stop smoking. And stories that help you understand the creation of the world in which you live. So many stories.
Yes.
That makes me think of a challenge for everyone watching. So does your family love sharing stories with one another? Do some stories get told over and over and over again? Are some stories just secret and for your nearest and dearest? So I want you to think about an appropriate family story that you'd like to share with a friend or your class, and you could tell it, or you could draw it or write it, and have a think about why this story is important to you and your family, and share it with those around you. All right, everyone, stay tuned for our next video in which Buri is going to tell us all about his amazing book, My Giragunji. We'll see you then.